February 17th, 2013, and we're very delighted to have Parul with us to share some of her remembrances. Welcome, Parul. And the first question, of course, I always ask everyone is, how did you come here? How did your parents bring you? And were they interested in Mother and Sri Aurobindo?
I came here at the age of 6, and I came here because it was war time, and I was in Calcutta, and actually we are from East Bengal, which is now what you call Pakistan, Bangladesh rather. So there was trouble there. So my father slowly brought us from East Bengal to West Bengal to Calcutta. And it was war time. There was a lot of disturbance, no food, no safety. So I had an uncle. My father are 5 brothers. Eldest was Yoganand, who was like a sadhu. He roamed all over India, and finally he came here in 1932, before I was born. He came here, and when he came here, his history is very different. If I tell that, then it will be whole evening talking on.
That's fine. That's fine, because we can have many sessions. We had 5 hours with Tara, so please feel free.
About him, I'll tell a little, because it is for him that we came here. He was in East Bengal. He was in an ashram, Brahmachari Baba, he was called, his guru. And that time, naturally war time, there was ladies were unsafe, especially widows. So the widows used to come and take shelter in the ashram. And these men ashram was meant only for men, not for women. So when these ladies started coming, that Bharat Baba couldn't refuse, because it is war time, they want shelter, they have come in difficulty. So he started accepting and making them do work like weaving and agriculture, helping, keeping the place clean, whatever it is. He used to demand from them that you must work, then only you can stay here. This my uncle didn't like. He was in that ashram. They were all men. They said, what is this ashram now? Women have started coming here. Few of them revolted and they walked off. He went a few miles, then he realized that I have done a very wrong thing. I shouldn't have walked off. And this is disobeying my guru. So he came back. When he came back, he told his guru, I'm very sorry. I have done this, but I want to stay. The guru said, no, once you have stepped out, you have to leave the place. I cannot take you back. But he was a very nice guru. He said that, Mother has come, Kali has come down. Normally we know Kali in black form, but this Kali is white. So you go looking for her. She's somewhere near the sea beach, seashore. So he pleaded, but the guru won't listen. So he walked off. Alone he started. There were 3, but he also didn't like the other 2 companions. Each one went their own way. He went his way. So he thought, I must go all along the Indian sea beaches, right from east to west. So he started from east. He went to Chittagong. In West Bengal, he knew there is nothing. He has not heard. Went to Chittagong. There also he heard there is nothing. So he walked along, and mostly walking. And wherever he could, he used to go in a train. And the moment they realized he has no ticket, because he's a sadhu, he has no money, nothing, they would throw him out. If his luck was good, he could travel in a train. So like this, he came to the south. And when he came to the south, he walked, and he came here. And here he heard there is somebody called as Mother. He came to know about Sri Aurobindo, not so much about Mother. So he came, he asked some people and found out where the ashram is. He came and knocked. That time door is to be locked, closed. So he knocked and somebody opened and said, I want to come to the ashram. Then they said, who are you? Whom do you know? He knew only Anil Baran. He had heard about Anil Baranda. So he said, I know Anil Baranda. He said, no, but Anil Baran has not said you have to talk to him. Anil Baran has to write a letter. You have to send it to Shervindo. Then if you will get an interview, then only you can enter ashram. So he was sent away. So he went and took shelter in one hotel called, I forget the name now. It is...
In Pondicherry?
Yes, in Pondicherry, in one hotel quite far away. I'll tell you the name afterwards, I forget the name. Then he went there. Naturally, he has no money, so he was on the footpath. So he slept there. Somebody took pity, gave him food. He ate. So next day when he came, anyway, like this he met Anil Baran, and Anil Baran, he wrote a letter. Then he got interview with Shervindo before darshan. So that was in 1932. You could go to Shervindo only if you had your Shervindo accepted you and you had your that card or letter or whatever it is. Not like us now, join a queue and then just go. It was not at all like that. So on his day, he went in a line, and then he saw Mother and Shervindo sitting. And naturally, you know, from that ashram, he couldn't accept ladies. So he didn't know, he saw others doing pranam and all. So finally when he went, he was simply, it was something else. He did pranam to both, naturally, Mother and Shervindo. So this is sort of a background, and with this background, he saw that other parents are bringing their children here because it's a safe place, no? Where we were in Calcutta, it was near Dum Dum, where they were bombing, Japanese were bombing Calcutta. I still remember, we used to hear a siren, and my father, I was a 5.5, 6-year-old girl, he would pick me up and we'd all run down and we would lie down on the floor. And we would hear dum, big sound, and I still remember. So we got permission. My uncle wrote to Mother, she gave us permission. So first I had an elder uncle. My father, I told you, had 5 brothers, Yogananda, then Sachindra, that is Jules and Dipu's father. Dipu's father came to see the place. Because before bringing us, we were children, how it is. He liked it very much. So we came in 1944. And I was born in 38. So the war started. So we came, and only my brother and myself. And we are lucky we came because we had no mother. From the age of 2, my mother died when I was 2 and my brother was only 8 months old. So we had nobody to really look after us. It was a joint family. But my father brought, he married again, I had stepmother. So with her we came here. We stayed here, and I was very happy because he said, you will have a mother here who will look after you. Oh. So I was small and I knew that this is my stepmother. I didn't like my stepmother. She was a very nice lady, but somehow I knew it is not my mother. So when I came here, 6-year-old, I went to see in darshan time Mother Shervindo. I was impressed because I was impressed more by Mother, no? Because I had no mother and I knew she is my mother. So Shervindo, I felt as if he is a statue. Because he used to sit in one position and his eyes and everything is like, glass. There is no, Mother at least would smile, move some. But I always thought he's a statue. For a long time, because we used to go 4 times a year and see him in the same position, and he looked like a statue. This was my impression. So later on, as I grew, then as I started reading and then seeing every darshan and hearing about him, and my uncle also used to talk about how they used to write letters to him, Shervindo, then naturally my views, my everything changed. And so when we came here at that age, there was no school. School actually started I came in 44 January 20th. School started in 43 December. So I was just 1 month that school had started. So we had no books, no teachers were there. They also, just to keep us occupied, they used to take our classes. And I used to stay at home with my stepmother. My father kept us, and then he naturally went away. Because our joint family, and they had to work, and our family was a struggling family because they had shifted from east to west. We had nothing, so they had to work hard. So in that condition we came, and we liked, and we never wanted to go back. When the war was over, my father came to take us. Divine Mother said, no, these are my children.
Oh.
So my father just left us. He didn't force, because it is true. He brought us when we were in trouble. Mother helped us. He has no right then to take us away. And we didn't want to go. I said, I'm not going. I'll stay here. And my brother was he's 2 years younger to me. He said, if Didi stays, I will stay. So both of us, we stayed back here. And in rotation, my aunties, they had to come, because that time there was no boarding. Boarding started in 45. And we were at home, and that time ashram was so different. I started growing in that atmosphere. I liked it very much. And
tell us a little bit about how different the ashram was in those days, what you remember as a child.
no, I remember as a very nice, safe place, because I understood little bit what is war. My brother didn't know anything. He was too small. He was 3.5, 4 year old. So here also when I came, there used to be siren. So I used to tell my father, let's run down. Then he used to say, no, this is a different place. You have come to an ashram. Mother is there, Guru is there. Here nothing will happen. Don't be afraid. But that fear in me for a long time it lingered as a child. And I think that fear, somewhere it entered into me, because when I used to, my brother was very free, especially when he used to do sports, gymnastics. He could do anything. I was also good in sports, but always my first thing was fear. And many things I couldn't do because of fear. Though I wanted to do something, as if it used to pull me back. So one day I went and told mother that I like to do things, I want to do, but there is something which doesn't allow me to do. I'm so frightened. And why should I be frightened? Because I know if I call mother, she'll help. But something as if pulls me back. Then she just smiled. She didn't say anything. But believe me or not, after that, slowly, as if something opened out, and things which I was frightened, like vaulting, I was extremely frightened to do an astride vault, to do many things. Then slowly I saw that somehow I could do that. Fear which was so much in me, that thing had slowly vanished. I think it was something to do with that war thing. And then she naturally, we were children, it's very easy for her to work within us. We had no other dirt or other thoughts or other feelings. And mother, we could go to her anytime. She was free. Sharvindo, no. Because, those days we used to have blessings. And blessings used to be downstairs, in that meditation hall. But I remember we as children, we used to go upstairs where now they give messages. In that room we used to sit. We were about, say, 15, 20 children, not more. So as we used to wait for mother, we used to play. We used to play that langri game, and then chase each other. And just next room was Sharvindo's. So he must have been disturbed, or I don't know, but mother never told us don't shout, don't make noise, he's there, nothing. Mother was so great, even we used to go for stupid things to her, to ask her. She never said, why have you come at this time wasting my time? See, I've got so many people to see, give darshan or talk or whatever it is. She was wonderful. Even today, I tell my friends that people get so many awards. I don't know what award, there's no award that you can give mother for her all this grace, her help, her extreme love. And what I have got is a love which will last me for ages, I think. Whenever I take birth, I tell her, you must give me this love. So this is how we came here.
Your brother Sadhu, he also settled down here.
Who?
Your brother Sadhu.
No.
Uncle.
My uncle.
Your uncle, yes.
Uncle was here from 32 he came. 38 I was born. He was here only.
Yeah.
Then he saw that other parents are bringing from Calcutta only. This all these are what children? Chom, Jhoor, this Bubu, and Lucy, and all my that age, Nomita. We are all war children. Ranjit, Ajit, and all. We are all. I think even Manojda, Monada. I think I'm not sure, but I think they are all. We are all war children. We came here. At least I came because of this, and then we stayed back. We loved the mother. I never wanted to go from here, and my father was extremely good. He never forced us. But after when we were of marriageable age, he is a very good father. He came and he told me, I'm the eldest in the family. Let's say you are old and this is the marriageable age. So it's not that I have left you in the ashram and if you want to get married, I won't get you married. If you want, I'll take you out. And I laughed. I said, I'll never go from here. I don't want to get married. But he said, as a father, this is my duty. So all my other brothers and sisters, they came later on. Each one said, no, if Didi is not getting married, I won't get married. No. I told them, why should you follow me? If you want to get married, you get married. But my brother went away. That my father sort of little told him, he's the son, no? They look after the joint family, no? Next, who will look after? Because in the meantime, Rul's father, my second uncle, he passed away. He had tuberculosis, he passed away. Third is my father. Fourth is, if you remember, Shantana, then Kinkar, their father. And fifth brother is Kanaklatas. So we are all cousins.
So your uncle who was Sadhu, he didn't accept ladies in that ashram.
In that ashram he
But
did.
here,
Here, when he came, first thing he was told that this is an ashram very different from other ashrams, especially the ashram from where you have come. And here ladies, men, women, everybody, they'll all work together. And if you don't like, you have to leave the place because you have to. Then he realized, no, his mistake there. So here he said, no, I will accept all that mother gives, whatever she gives, whatever she says, I promise I will follow. And he followed, he was a very good worker. He's one of those olden time workers. He couldn't stay without work.
Where did you work?
In the beginning he used to work, as if people came for darshan, he would go to the station, bring them, and like reception. And then that ashram had very few guest houses, and the Pondicherry was very different. It was not what it is now. All the dirt roads and houses, all that was very different. Like I stayed for 10 years where, what's his name? Aruti will shift in that house. What is, near Iminku boarding attached. I forget the name. That house had no electricity, no water. So we with hurricane lantern for 10 years. Means that time I accepted it. For us it was that was the way to live. There was no electricity. And water, we used to go and bath in my uncle's house. We were just across the road. Then slowly he brought in, there was a well. And slowly water came faster than the electricity. Electricity came later on. So we have lived in a very simple manner. So now I have no complaint. The way I live, I'm very happy because I know what it was, what it is. Many say, you're such an old ashramite, why don't you take a room where you can attach a bathroom and you have to go from here to there, our bathrooms are a little away. I said, what I have, I call it heaven. I will never ask, I will never demand. Whatever mother has given me, if it comes, I will accept it. I won't go and say, I want this, I have never said, and I will never do it also. So like this we grew up, and
Well, there are many things that we want to hear from you. One of them is how mother guided you in sports, in whether you did acting or music or dance. Or please tell us some of those remembrances.
No, when you finished your studies, where did you work? No.
okay,
How
that,
did you get
That's
that
another subject, yes.
so actually what happened, we were staying at home in this condition, you know. Then I found it very difficult. I was growing, I became a girl of 10-year-old, 10, 11, and studies are becoming difficult. I was not a very good student, but I was very hardworking. If I didn't understand in the class something, my colleagues were so good, the other students, they would help me. We are like a nice class, like brothers and sisters, they would all help. So after the class, if I didn't understand, I would go and ask them, they would explain to me, then I could understand. Because my base was very weak, especially maths. So at home, I had to do little work. As soon as I finished school, I'll go home. In those days, we were not well off. We had to do our own work. This washing, cleaning, and so I saw that I have no time for studying. So I went and told to my to Divine Mother that, Mother, I can't cope up with my studies, I have to work. And I think work was very, now when I think, I said, but I'm always working, I love work. But I couldn't adjust, I was a student, no? Next day she took me to boarding. I was sent away to the boarding. Means from home, she sent Amritada with a suitcase. I put all my clothes in and I told my auntie, Mother has told us to go to the boarding. So my brother and myself, both of us, we went to the boarding in 1949, I remember, before Shevindo passed away.
Which boarding?
Dotwar boarding. It is not there now. Now it is broken and gymnasium has come up. You have not seen that photos, old photos?
Yeah,
Tara was there with you
When Tara was there before me.
before you.
Because that boarding started in 1945. It started.
Playground, no? Playground.
Playground
The
boarding.
was there.
Yes, that one. So it started in 45. I went in 49. So mother took me there. So there I had to only study, sports, and work means very little. Whatever they asked us to do, we always did. In the beginning we had to wash our dishes, you know, that anyone in dining room or a corner house you wash. Like that, small things. But at home I had to do many more things. I had to help my aunt as sweeping, mopping, washing vessel. In those days we had to light the oven. There was no stove, no gas, nothing. So now when I think all that I have done at home, it has all helped me throughout my life. And as I became big in the boarding, she gave us each one a room. Like Tara got her room in guest house. Then mother asked Tara, whom would you like to have in beside you? She said Parul. So I went there. And so we were asked whom I would like to have beside me. And Chitra came there. So I think mother was so great. She never ordered anybody and just, she took care of whatever you want, whatever is suiting to your feelings or whatever it is, she considered that. Nowadays that has gone. You just, somebody will send you, go and stay there and you have to go without. This is, now when I think back, I am seeing that how much mother had concern for all her children, each one. Like I feel, mother has done only for me. See, today he is saying, each one he is hearing, as if mother has done only for that person. So we are so many, thousand of us in the ashram. To each one she has gone love in thousand ways. And each one being satisfied. Like, I'm so happy the way I've been brought up. And she used to tell me, any problem, anything, you can always come and ask me. I used to go for very stupid things also. And she never told me, you're wasting my time. So as I became, I, as I told him, as I became big, I wanted to be a nurse. So I started going to dispensary, but I saw I have one weakness, I can't see blood. Someone is bleeding even now. I cannot dress up or do anything. I send my co-captains that you please go and that person has got hurt. I just cannot tolerate blood. Then I saw that nurse I cannot be. So I wanted to be a secretary. So I went and told mother I want to learn typing. She said, oh, Mapati, I have no arrangement for typing. So how will you learn? You know, I feel so bad. I used to see in school 20 typewriters. This is when my schooling was over, when school shifted here. Our school was, you know, in the playground. I used to see typewriters all lined like that, and I used to think, my God, mother had to tell me that I have no typewriter. How will I teach you, my Mapati? So what I did, I found out that Harpago, run by Udarda, he had a typewriter, and 1 to 2, it was my free time. And it was that office lunch time also, lunch break. So I went and told mother, from 1 to 2 I will go and learn in Harpago. So I went and asked Udar. Udar was very happy and mother was also happy. So at 1 o'clock I used to go and learn typing there. And Udarda, he only taught me. A blind man, a pitman's blindfold book there is.
Yes.
And you can learn by yourself. So he said, you will learn by yourself and I will come next day and test how much you have learned. So that's how I learned typing. And then he said, once your schooling is over, that time I was a girl of 14, 15. I was in the boarding. And he said, once you have finished your schooling, you have to work with me. So I kept my promise. So when I finished in 61, I finished my school. I was very happy because I liked Udarda's ways of teaching, you know. He would dictate, I would write down the letters, then I would type and he would correct. So I was learning and plus working, and he was also very happy with me. And I was growing up like his daughter. Wherever he would go, he would take me. Once he took me to Chennai also. In those days, Madras, some work. For us it was something we never went out anywhere. So, and he used to take Diana to Raman Maharshi Ashram. So he told me, you also come, I have to take her. Mother knows, mother used to give permission for her to go. So once he took me in those days when I was a student, so I went to Raman Maharshi Ashram also. So we were students, we used to work and we used to study, and all this mother appreciated. And we never said we have no time, and I never bunked in my school homeworks, or I was never late anywhere. And everything was so disciplined because all this mother taught us. That you have to be disciplined, you have to keep things properly, each thing, it has a consciousness, you should take care, because that thing gets the way you live, that also adjusts with you. So all these were taught to us. Nowadays, if all this I tell to the students, they think I'm cuckoo. Means all these are all just words. It has no.
Still you follow your discipline, because Tuesday you come to Conga's group timings.
Yes,
That is very strict.
I'm very strict. I try to teach them.
I was also your
Yes,
member.
he was in my,
Group.
gone through my group.
So let's take up sports now, and how mother guided you in sports, and also tell us about how you became a captain.
Oh, so when I came to the boarding in 1949, as if something in me suddenly opened. In my house I was very restrained because my auntie was very strict. Now I think it is really good that she was strict. And but when I came to boarding, it was strictness was there, discipline was there, but there was some, I was quite a different person. So I used to run fast, do things fast. So Dada was very impressed, Pranabda. He said, you run so fast, you do things so fast, anything responsible he would ask me to do, and immediately I would do. He was very happy with me. So I think I became a captain at the age of 11 or 12 in 52, 51, 52, somewhere there. I was a girl of 12. But we all became captains at a very early age. Tara also was at 12, 13, Sumedha, Nirata. We all became, and he gave responsibility of lower groups.
So Dada made you a captain or in consultation with
No,
mother?
no, with mother. That time everything is Dada and mother. Both. Dada and mother. Otherwise, he would tell everything to mother. Mother would accept. We are there in the evening. We are seeing. She is there. She is seeing us taking group. Her presence was always there. So throughout the day we used to have mother's presence. In early morning balcony, then meditation hall, then there used to be something called as vegetable darshan. You know that samadhi staircase straight, all the vegetables that we eat in dining room, they used to bring in baskets, keep, she would see that those vegetables used to be cooked. So I used to be present there also. And there she would give us flowers, not in hand, like in darshan time she'll give in the hand. She will throw, you have to catch. So if you miss means what she's given you, you have not been able to accept.
Oh.
So that was the darshan. So
Dada guide you in syllabus, sports?
yes, he used to, and I have got those notebooks even now, what we should do, how we should do, and he couldn't take all, no, so he used to make like partners, like one group, I will see today, I will help all of them. Next time, maybe Tara is helping. Like that, it was very well organized. So we never had coaches, like now children have coaches, no? We were helping each other and he was our guide. If we didn't know, we would call him. Like I tell you, in vaulting, Vishwabandhu was the spotter. I was very frightened, I told you, I had fear in me. If Dada came, I would do anything. So then we would go and call Dada, he would stand, then I could do. So it was like, he was always present, and mother, after tennis, she used to come to the playground. She was always present. In those days, we had everything in the playground. I used to stay in the boarding, I would study in the school which is in the playground premises, and I would play also there which is in the playground. So everything was under mother's guidance. So, Pranabda said that you are so responsible, you do everything nicely, so from now you will be, he made me called a vice captain. Means the main captain, I was small, no, 11, 12-year-old. So Chandra, Vishwabandhu, then they were the main captains. I used to help them. Then slowly I became like this, I don't know which year and all, a proper captain. Otherwise he used to call us helping captains, you know.
So what were your skills in sports?
Now, I was really good in athletics. I used to run fast. I could do long jump. They say that in those days, if they took, I was in the national level. But in those days, it was India. We just got independence. We were so backward in our. So I don't take it as a very big thing. They put in my head. I did sport because I loved sport, and mother was there to see. We always got appreciation. If I did something well, next day when we will go for blessings, she would say, how nicely you did yesterday. So she would encourage us. We would get so encouraged, and we really, as if something is boosting us inside to do better. So that's how I did even long jump record. So then I was good in gymnastics also. I loved gymnastics, especially after the Russians came. Our gymnastics became very different. Girls started doing uneven, beam. So sports, I was not bad in anything.
You had the ashram records in long jump and some other.
For quite many years. Still, I think Navunita broke in the 100 meters.
So
And
you
I think
were
long jump
100
also.
meters and
Long jump.
long jump.
And age group, I think for javelin. and something else, now I forget. So,
What about mother's classes?
ah,
That would be something that
Yes, that is-
everybody is so enthusiastic to tell.
yes. See, this, as you said, I became a captain at a small age, like all of my other friends. Then on our birthdays, when we used to go to mother upstairs, she would always give us something, a small book or something that would make us feel, we would feel that mother has given us something. It's a treasure. So as I started growing up, mother used to tell that it is good if you do everything yourself. So in the boarding, we all used to arrange our own things, look after our own clothes, and when we got our room, when we became a little older, she said, you are big enough to have your own room. You must have little privacy. She gave my room and she told, it is good if you do everything yourself. Why should a maid come? If a maid comes and does something, it is the maid's consciousness which is there. So you should do. So from the age of 14, no, I got that room when in 56, so I was 18. So from the age of 18 till today, I clean my clothes, I wash, clean the room, wash my clothes, and in 56 she gave us upstairs that Shavinder's room, which is there. I don't know if you know, there is a room upstairs. I'll take you next time when you come. So that room also I look after.
Ah.
So from 56 till today, I'm 76 now. I've stepped in 76 in January. Not that I'm boasting, I'm just, because he wants to know, he's also very interested. I'm just telling, these are the things I'm doing and I love to do. It's not for getting praise. It's inwardly, I feel that all the time I'm with
But
mother.
when you are not keeping well, or sometimes you...
Can you believe, if I go and do that work, I become all right? You won't believe. I never bunk. I never, and if I can't, I tell mother today, I've got a lot of pain in my knee. I used to have. Can you believe it goes away? You're asking, I'm telling you. Otherwise, I don't tell people. Because these are things, if you tell, sometimes people get envious and then it has a opposite effect on you. So I never tell. You're asking me, so I'm telling you. That's a room of magic for me. Anything I want, I just go there, I work. As I'm working, I tell her, and I get my answers, I get everything there. So I never get tired. When I go out for 10 days, I feel very bad because that work nobody likes to do. Nobody likes to sweep. All in that house, only Bokul, Bhatti, they do themselves. All others, maid servant does. So if the person to whom I tell, she does, but when I come back, she says, I'm sorry, 2 days I couldn't wipe, I couldn't dust. Means I don't, because I cannot, my presence is not there, someone has to do. But I don't expect, I don't scold or anything. Because I know it is my work and I have gone out, so somebody has to look after it. But they look forward for me to come back soon. That's what I mean to say. They don't very much enjoy doing it.
So now on
So-
to mother's teaching, education,
Yes.
and her classes.
So when on my birthday, 13th birthday when I went, she used to give us books. And I don't know why she would say, pas encore. I remember 12th birthday, what she meant, pas encore. I never asked her. 13th and 14th birthday, I got Prayers et Méditation. First time I got a nice book, mother's, and she didn't say pas encore. Because I still remember, every birthday I'll go and she'll say pas encore. And I never asked what pas encore means not yet in French. So 14th birthday when I got this book, I was very happy, and she had, she used to give her signature, and then with that
She wrote
book,
your name?
yes, she wrote my name, and avec bénédiction, with blessings. And then she said that, mon petit, this book you read, But if you don't understand, and you shouldn't ask anybody else for explanation. You come to me and ask. So, and I was so happy because then I realized all these days what Shiva says, pass encore, maybe I was not ready inside age of 14, because she used to keep telling, at the age of 14 you can do many things, you are matured, and I think age of 14 she has taken us in the yoga life. That time we were children. That is my way, because I never asked her why she went on saying. Even today I repent that I was so free with her, I used to go her. Why I never asked her, why you kept telling me pas encore, pas encore. But now I realize that it is when she gave me the book, she told this. So I used to read that book whenever I didn't understand and something was not very clear in me. I used to go upstairs. No, normally after school, say 11:30 like that. And she would be busy working. People are waiting for interview or whatever. And she would tell me, "You wait there, I will see you." So like this, but she used to answer. And I used to come back and write down. And I was at that time I was 14. I was a student also. I had a lot of homeworks because I used to. I was not a very good student, very hard working. I used to work very hard on all the subjects. So when I used to go to her, she must have read in my mind that I have to wait, and I'm making her also wait. I used to think I'm wasting mother's time. So many people are there. So she must have read my thoughts. So for a long time she used to answer. Then one day she told me that, see, this time it is very busy. So many people are there and I have to tell you also in a hurry. Why didn't you tell me in the playground? In the playground in those days, Pranabda, after the groups were over, mother used to distribute, we used to say prasad, either groundnuts or a toffee or something she used to give. So after all have gone, she used to see, Pranabda had a group, he was training for making the boys captains or whatever it is. So they had a group. And I was living in boarding, so I used to run down and sit. Mother used to sit with Preeti Di, then Gauri Di and all those ladies. Then I used to come and sit. And Tara also used to be there. So both of us would sit. I would be watching and mother would be talking with those ladies, but I would be sitting there. So mother said, when you're sitting there, you ask me questions. So that time became very interesting. I used to ask. They are doing exercise there, and when I used to ask what had happened, Tara was more interested she wanted to do exercise with Dada and those boys. I was not so interested because Dada said you have to do 100 dips and some 1,000, that time we used to do giddy, that sitting and doing 1,000. I knew it is beyond my limit, so I preferred sitting beside mother. Tara did all that and went and joined that group. So for some time, when we used to ask question, she was there, but later on, she went and joined there. So one day, mother said, this has become like a class, let us fix up a day. That's how Wednesday class started. So, Wednesday class started with Prayaja Meditasya. I've got the date also, if we used to have it, one thing I forgot to tell. When we used to, in 1952, I used to stay in the boarding, and I think the in charges went and told something about me. I don't know details because I was called by the mother. So I thought, I go freely to mother, why suddenly she's calling me? So I went. I was not frightened. I was rather happy she's calling me. So I went, because I used to see others waiting for interview. I used to go anytime. So I was happy that mother has called me. So I went up and mother asked me it was something private. And I very spontaneously answered. I said, yes mother, I have done like this. She was so, I told her and I felt very free. And mother was so happy. after a few days, she told Tara, Tara, Cham, Jhumur, Bubu and Gauri, these are 5 who used to go to mother after their school, 11:30. 11:30 to 12, they used to be with mother. And mother used to play with them. She would she would talk in French, teach them French. Then that flower book, which is it started from there. She give a game, that flower game, teaching them which flower, what's the meaning, and all this she started. So she told Tara that if you bring Parul with you people from now. So I remember in 1952, I joined this group, so we became 6. So 11:30 to 12, I was very happy. I used to go upstairs, and so this Wednesday class, mother said, you 6, I'll start with you 6. So we 6 girls used to go, and it started, I think in mother's room, I think.
Who means that's alone?
No, not upstairs, in playground. Playground itself. Mother's room where she... First was there or in the guest house, I now forget. No, guest house I think afterwards. Because it became very big, then she started in the playground. Then the room became very small. Other people started coming, hearing. Then I think we shifted. I don't remember if we shifted to guest house. I think we shifted to the playground. There you'll see photos. We are all sitting around. We 6 would be in front, and other people all behind. Then later on anybody could ask questions. And so all those questions, mother's questions, questions and answers, those books are all that from 52 to 58. Wednesday classes. So we were the 6 of us, with us she started that class.
We were also told that mother gave dictation and people had to write down.
Oh, that was
Could you tell us about that?
That is green group class, not ours.
Ah.
That Tara must have said, because
Yes, she did.
that was not my means. I was never in green group. I was in red group. They were red shorts. I was always captain of that group. I was captain. I did also with them. All my wonderful days was in red group. And I was captain of that group. Even today I am a captain of that group.
So in those classes you put questions to mother?
So if those Wednesday classes, we started, that book. We used to read, and whatever we wanted, we would tell her and she would answer. So that whole book, that's how we finished. It took quite many years. Yes.
But Entretien, you asked her whenever you...
Yes, Entretien, she explained. So it started with, at least that class started because I used to go and ask, and then started with prayers and meditation. Then we took up other books, and then it continued, and it became like a class, and like whole ashram class, everybody used to participate. Whoever had...
Talk her in French?
Always. It is to teach French, that if we talked in English, she would say, no, parlez en français. And if we couldn't, she would tell us. If we made mistakes, she would correct us. So that's how we became very conversant with French. We had to write also. You see Usha's, all her things, there's exhibition going on, so all in French. We couldn't write in English. We had to write to her in French. Because we have come to learn French and talk to her in French.
Did you ever teach?
No, I was never a teacher. I was captain, and then I run a boarding. Young girls, teenagers boarding. So that's what I was telling him, that in the boarding, all the things that mother taught us, if I try to teach them, they don't accept. They just don't accept. One very nice thing that I tell them, that you're all young girls, mother is to insist on discipline, to be on time, and you people are so lucky. Lucky in the sense, like I used to do my own work, never any teacher or captain could ever say that I am late or I have not done properly. You people, you don't even sweep the rooms, you don't wash your clothes, nothing. You have to just go in time, eat in corner house, go to school on time. That also you people can't do. It's a shameful thing. You people don't feel bad, But I feel bad because mother taught me, I am passing it on to you, you don't accept. I feel guilty. If mother were there, I would have asked her, Mother, I am doing my duty, but see, they are like this. She is not there, so inwardly I keep telling her. And now I have seen these children are even worse. I don't know, I just do my duty, that's all. They are indisciplined, they don't go on time, and it's not that they don't know. The more you tell, the more they revolt. So I don't understand how we should.
They did you work other departments?
No, I told you, I promised Udar, so I was working with Udar after finishing my school, higher course. Then we are big, no? She gave us rooms. Then mother said, see, now you people have got all room, so in this boarding, younger children will come. Because then our school started growing and some parents couldn't stay, so they were keeping their children here. So who would look after them? So she made a boarding. So my boarding was the first boarding, Tortuar boarding. So she wanted someone to look after. So she actually told Aruna to look after, because Aruna was there looking after. We had many superintendents. Aruna was the last. We were all big. She gave each one a responsibility. Aruna is to look after. She refused. She said, no, I have done enough of looking after. I don't want to run a boarding. So next, mother suggested my name. Or Dada may have suggested. I don't know who, but mother called me and she told me that, can you run a boarding? So I told mother that I have been a boarder, but I have never sort of looked after the children. And then I told her that I had no mother, so I don't know what is love. I have been, and mother looked at me with such eyes that means, how dare you speak like this? Because she has brought us up. How could I? It's really a shameful thing that I could think like that. With her love, what I have, even my physical mother couldn't have given me. So I told mother, no, I will look after. I will look after the boarding, and whatever I can't, I'll come to you. She was so happy. She said, okay. And first time in my life, I got an interview. I used to go to her whenever I like, but I used to envy people who are waiting to talk to her. That I never had that chance.
Can you tell us a little bit about how the interview, where it was, how it took place?
The interview was
in the room, in the big chair?
Upstairs, no. She used to be on the second floor, no, it's called.
Second floor.
In the ashram.
Mm-hmm.
She called me during the day, her interview time. So I felt very great that I am now going to her like other persons who wait in the queue. First time in my life I am going for an interview with mother. So,
but there was no appointment, you could go any time to her.
No, this interview she gave me time. Other times I was free, that's why I never felt that I'll go to her and have interview. I could just go, she would come, she asked, what do you want? I would tell her. All of us, not only me, Tara, we were all free to go to her anytime.
Did you write to mother from time to time?
About once she was sick, then few letters about boarding I have written. Otherwise, I had that opportunity to go to her, so I never had to. And I used to get her direct answers. So this interview, she told me that how I should look after the children. It was more or less as I was brought up. So I said surely, and if there's she told me any problem, you can always tell me and come to me. And I used to go to her with any problem. So I had no problems are now when she's not there and.
What are the advices she gave to look after the body?
So like they should never be late anywhere, and they should have, you know that children, how we have code of sportsmanship, you know those pamphlets small.
Ideal child.
Ideal child. All those things she said you have to go on guiding them, telling them, then only it'll enter into them. Like even now when they are going out, I tell them, you should take your mushwar, keep your shoes properly, listen to the group, be obedient, be on time. These are things I just repeat like a parrot. Somewhere it must be getting in. Some don't like it, but some definitely it gets in.
But they benefit later on.
Yeah, they
They
benefit
say what
much later.
Parul was saying because.
Yes, they benefit much because I insist. When they go out, I see that each one they carry their things, and especially at night, mother said, used to tell that you must teach the children that sleeping is also a sort of discipline. You must know how to sleep. But these children don't like. The previous children, they used to accept what I said.
How did mother tell you about sleeping? That's very interesting.
Mother, she has told us in our class. It's all there in her books. But I'll tell you just.
No, we want
she's
to hear it from you.
First thing, when we are lying down, we are as if very light, and we are absolutely straight. We are lying in the bed. We think of her, and we tell her all that we have done during the day, good, bad, whatever it is. Mother, she has always been with us. She'll always be with us. That's what we know. And she used to say that she visits each one of us, and she starts with our boarding 9 o'clock at night. So I used to tell the children, you should all be in bed by 8:30. So our time is 8:30. The girls go to bed by. I still believe that she comes, she starts with our boarding. She visits each ashramite at night. So as it started with boarding, even today I have kept up the rule. By 8:30, whether you sleep, you don't sleep, you should be in bed. And when they are in the bed, I tell them, you relax, think of mother, tell her all that you have done during the day. Even if you have done a bad thing, tell her, she will help you. These children, present children, if I tell, next day I hear, she's cuckoo. She goes on telling all, giving us gyan and telling us to do. We are big enough, we know what we can do.
We've kept you for about an hour today, and we haven't even gotten into the remembrances of the older ashramites. You think you could come back for another session
But
to
these,
talk about some of them?
but these I don't think, because this remembering them is I've just seen, but I'm a person, I talk to a person if they come to me. I don't go and, so I won't like to,
Okay. Well, it's been...
except Tara.
You can say.
yes, of course, yes. Well,
About Dada you can say, no? If you were-
Yes, I can talk about Dada and Tara.
okay. Thank you so much. Thank you, Parul.